There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? My affair's here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Oh yes, she sat next to me. What? Dahlia Hawthorne. I seem to recall that you said. I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fay. That pathetic little sniveling runt. Can't be. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? It couldn't happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did, but who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clear to you right about now, am I correct? Wasn't Pearls that channeled you? It was someone who called you before she could. Ooh. See, I want to go with, like... But I feel it's leading towards pointing out Maya at this point, not Misty. If we're talking about this moment, we're trying to point out that she's Maya, so... Yeah. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fay is gone. There's only one possibility left. There we go. It's that sort of thing, like... I still feel like Misty did it earlier and got killed for it, but... Right now, it's Maya doing it. Come on already! I can't stand the tension! Dahlia Hawthorne. The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fay. What? Okay, so you don't know that. But how could that be? Is this part of Maya's plan? Is Maya doing a plan here? Because it's like, I thought she knew, and she was hiding the fact. And that's why she changed clothes. And she was trying to use this whole thing as a way to set up Maya, but does she not know either? I don't know where it's going now then, because I genuinely thought this was Dahlia's plan. But she seems genuinely surprised. So who, like, her clothes are different. That's what I thought was happening, like, her clothes are different because Dahlia had changed them. So did Maya change her clothes before and then channel Dahlia? Why? To protect Pearls? Oh, it's again, it's like, once you start figuring stuff out, it's like, oh yeah, that's great, I figured it. Oh, nope, there's a twist again, okay. Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fay. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Huh. Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't... What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. I still feel like it's going to protect Pearls in some way as well. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fay. The path back to Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? You mean, that's when she channeled me? Well, this time, you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you. No, No, don't say that. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp. My Faye killed herself, isn't it obvious?
Objection!
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. Stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could ever have given such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Hello? Mia? Mia Faye. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. You're something else. But what are you doing here? That here is pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Faye. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did. Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. Clever thinking, Maya. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear. And that was? I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Faye. But Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very bad, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago. The fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It's because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you. But it's no longer funny. You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. You spinster. Supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you had gotten this spiky head jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on. Forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? No longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Oh, bloody hell. I'm not ready to go. Oh, well. It's a Makatama. Nick? Sis? Well, that was interesting. Now then, I assume you are the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. So Gadot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? You ask me, Your Honor. It looks like she went back to the hell she came from. I want to see Iris's hair, because I want to know if I was right on that idea. Because it was like, there was part of me trying to figure out what Dahlia was up to, which I was completely wrong on. But it seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. Well, it would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing? It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Korean channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Cult? I've seen quite a few things in my years on the bench. In all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Gadot? This trial isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Trite. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in front of the stolen lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. By who? And it's gonna be Gadot based on everything we figured out here and there. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Duinham? No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. You can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. Prosecution is ready to call our final witness. The final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye? Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. To me that just confirms, like, yeah, he did do it then. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine being found guilty. We just need to get to that point. Who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? She can't testify for what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Tribe, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. Somehow managed to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. February 10th, 2:56 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 1. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up in this whole time. Something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? You tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday. You wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up... That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean... Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris. There's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes? What is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, at least doing him, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But... the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body, so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always had. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Fey. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the spiky sword. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Can't do that. Can't say who did it. I see. It's Gadot. Defendant. Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. Okay. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Well then. I'll see you later. Something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. She would... Again, this is that inkling I had in the past. It's very much this idea of like, she's Phoenix's sweetums or whatever he called her. It wasn't Dahlia the entire time, and like, because she hated his guts and all that type of stuff, but Iris didn't. Iris fell in love, and Phoenix fell in love. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer, even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean... She's learned who Elise Duanim really was. Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. Why? Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it, all of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. That just maybe I know who it was. At night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day, and Gadot was nowhere to be found for an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win. Or lose. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see, anyway? And who was it that actually killed the Misty Fae? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. Yes. To be continued. February 10th, 3:36 p.m. District Court, Courtroom, number 7. I was enjoying number 7, it's quite lower. Now then, before we proceed any further, I am going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. Totally forgot about it. Same. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So, what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Is it gonna be Gadot's blood somehow? Due to the time constraints, the full test wasn't possible. However, one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. It can't be Gadot's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updated in the court record. Sure, both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well, please bring in the last witness. What if it's going to be one of those things where it's like, as long as you have figured out that it's Gadot, it's going to be relatively easy, but if you haven't, it'll be like, I don't have a clue. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique. I'm frightened. The fake clan, I don't want any more to do with it. It's understandable. Oh, Maya. Pain the fake bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Duanim's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see anything.
Objection.
Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witness come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let us hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. The inner temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled, then put up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. Suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dolly Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Seems that it would be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. I feel like we have to press on everything here, because I don't notice anything suspicious or anything. Or contradictory. I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Who did it? Who hit you? I'll find them and kill them. Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. I didn't see the person. But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maria's really having a hard time. What should I do? Leave her alone for now, but we might come back around to that. Considering the conditions at the crime scene, it's not surprising she didn't see her attacker. So it looks like even you've got some compassion. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Duanim, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well now, it's beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. Oh. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, are they? So, what did you do then? I think I screamed, "Help me." You think you screamed, but you're not sure. Listen, I was in a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. Alright. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. Thought that it was my last hope. It sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? See, that doesn't feel as bad compared to the other one where we press harder. Yeah, your last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No, that's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Yeah. This is going nowhere. Look, you were facing an attacker you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me." Yeah? You testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, that's like... What do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. Thank you, music. That's exactly what I was thinking. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to help, for help for. But, yes. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Why? Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. Why? What have I done? Huh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. Ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to this case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I could see a man behind the attacker by the light of the stone lantern. But was not lit on the night of the crime. Contradiction. Objection! So there was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah? That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Duanim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Order in the court. Mr. Gadot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfection, clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au latte. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Mr. Tright's words are the milk and you are the spoon. Your Honor? I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Objection! Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick. May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! Order! What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? She saw 3 red lines. Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch-black conditions?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene.
Objection!
I really thought the other brazier thingies were lit. And there are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Gadot. Maybe I got it the wrong way around. Maybe it was like that case of like there's nothing that indicates they were burnt. I don't know. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you saw, Miss Faye? You say Miss Faye saw in the darkness.
Take that!
Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how did you propose to show something like that? Turn the lights off. It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. This is... But it can't be! That was a nice bit of deduction. Trite. Well, everyone. This is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Gadot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. It was 2, one of them was broken. I never saw that. Maya. I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. What? Oh. Not exactly wrong though, but just there was another reason? Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't realize it until after I woke up, but